Hi, it's James. I am the unofficial mayor of Cowboy Country, and no, I wasn't planning on making a video tonight, but once again, Golden Blue Dude has to start rambling on about conference realignment, how he thinks the Big 12 is going to be picked apart, and it's like, oh my gosh, I love your zeal, but sometimes you're just wrong. Ugh, it's just I got a paper to write. I've got stacks of books. I've put all my sources together. That way, tomorrow I can just spend all day writing. I'm working on my PhD. I got other things to do other than debunk Golden Blue Dude. But here we are. Oh, by the way, thank you for the compliment. Somebody complimented me on the clean shaven look, so I'm gonna keep it going. Anyway. Back to sports. Look, there's some things out there that need to be set as fact, okay? Right now, the Pac-12 has... What are some things going good for the Pac-12? Well, as long as you still have Oregon and Washington, yeah, they're decent brands. I'll give you that. Stanford and Cal, they're well known for their academics. Yeah, I'll give you that. Utah right now clearly is the class of the Big 12 as far as football is concerned. USC is doing well this year, but if you compare the last 3 years, Utah has been the best football team. So I can't wait to see USC versus Utah. So, but Oregon only is a national brand because of Phil Knight and Nike. And who did Oregon play in the bowl game last year? That would be OU, and they got thumped hard. So no, Oregon is not a better brand than anybody in the Big 12. Washington, we thought Washington was back, and then they got thumped by UCLA. And quite frankly, Stanford hasn't been relevant in football since they lost to Oklahoma State in 2011. So no, the Pac-12 is not a better conference than the Big 12. Do I want to see the Pac-12 go away? No, I don't. I really don't. What needs to happen is the Pac-12 needs to swallow their pride. When UCLA and USC leave, they need to bring in teams like Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State. They need to bring in some of those teams. Heck, San Diego State's got a brand new stadium. It looks really good. So, will they be as strong as they were? No. But with the new playoff in a couple years, an undefeated Pac-12 team would still make the playoff. Okay? Let's talk about the ACC. There is one bona fide great team in the ACC, and that's Clemson. Dabo Swinney is a consistent winner. He's done it over the last 15 plus years. They're a great football team. No doubt about it. But any of the others? North Carolina has only become relevant in the last couple of years because they brought Mac Brown back. Wouldn't Texas love to have that guy? Vatech isn't as good as they were. North Carolina State is up, but they lost to Clemson. Can they keep... If they can consistently win over the next couple of years, then you could say that they're a decent brand. Georgia Tech? Yeah, they got the Atlanta market, but are they really better than anybody in the Big 12? I don't think so. Oklahoma State's brand is so big right now that when Daniel Cormier, former MMA fighter, former multiple-time light heavyweight champion and heavyweight champion in UFC, when he made his appearance on Monday Night Raw, guess what? He was wearing an OSU shirt because that's where he wrestled. So OSU's brand is big right now. OSU has been a consistent top 15 team for the last 3 years. So, and then, like I said, I love big golden blue dude Zeal, but I just hate it when he gets things wrong. The Big 12 has no grant of rights? Really? Tell that to OU and Texas, because they can't leave until 2025. Yeah. Bevo with no horns is saying, we want to go to the SEC. Ain't going to happen unless you pony up $80 million. At least that was the last number I heard. The way that that's going to go down is very simple. If Texas gives up the Longhorn Network, there's negotiations to lower the payoff so that OU and Texas can leave, and everybody will be happy. Because once again, my friend Robert Allen was right. He said this 3 years ago. Bringing in BYU, well, the Pac-12, I'll say this, Golden Blue Dude was exactly right about one thing. When the Pac-12 said no to these guys, that was stupid. Because BYU, there are Mormons in all 50 states, and guess what? They like BYU, and they're going to watch BYU. So when the Big 12 finally has its own real network, not the Longhorn Network, people on the East Coast that will never make their way to Provo will watch BYU versus Kansas State, or BYU versus Cincinnati, or BYU versus Oklahoma State, or BYU versus KU. They're going to watch those games. It's going to bring more value to the TV contract, and therefore the Big 12 is going to make more money. That's why it's important that the Big 12 be patient, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong about this, the longer Notre Dame goes, or the closer they get to 2036, the less money they have to pay the ACC if they want out. A lot of people are doubting whether or not Notre Dame would ever do it. Now, granted, I will admit, it would make the most sense for Notre Dame to join the ACC. That is not option number one. But like I said yesterday, the conference that treats religious schools the best is the Big 12. So there were a lot of things that were said in that video that were just flat out wrong. I appreciate his zeal, but no. Oregon's brand, Washington's brand, Stanford's brand is not bigger than teams in the Big 12. Where is game day going to be tomorrow for ESPN? They're going to be in Lawrence, Kansas, because KU against TCU is two undefeated teams, two ranked undefeated teams, and they're playing head-to-head tomorrow. Obviously, one of them is going to come out there with a loss. As a side note, if you are in the Lawrence area, across the street from the football stadium, there's a great pizza place called Toppers. Highly recommend it if you're in Lawrence. So here's the bottom line. The Big 12's brands, top to bottom. The Big 12 is the best conference right now in football. Yes, the SEC has Georgia. The SEC has Alabama. And they are great football teams. LSU is improving under Brian Kelly. No doubt. Florida's going to be good. They got a young mobile quarterback. Give him time. He's going to be really good. Kentucky has improved. Tennessee has improved. But for every one of those teams, the SEC also has South Carolina, which is doing okay. Missouri's okay. Vanderbilt, probably not. Let me put the word. Statistically, OU and Texas are towards the bottom. West Virginia. West Virginia has 2 losses. Put West Virginia against Vanderbilt. Who's going to win? I'd say the Mountaineers would win. What about the ACC? Yes, they have Clemson. They've got North Carolina State. They got those are 2 pretty good teams. North Carolina is a pretty good football team. I trust them to do well and end up in a decent bowl game just because they got Mac Brown back as their coach. But seriously, Vatek isn't as good as they used to be. West Virginia beat the snot out of Vatek in Hattiesburg. Top to bottom, the Big 12 has proven that they are a good, solid college football conference. And believe me, when the TV negotiations take place, Big 12 is going to get more money than they were getting before. And I hope that the new commissioner will be smart enough to try to include either Amazon or Apple, give them the rights to either tier 3 or tier 4, and possibly replay some of the games. If we have a legitimate Big 12 network that goes to all 50 states, there's more, like I said, there's Mormons in all 50 states. They're going to want to subscribe. So that's going to increase the value of the TV deal. So I think the Big 12 is in great shape. And what we see on the football field is exciting and competitive football games. If you don't believe me, watch last week, Alabama versus Arkansas. That was not a competitive game. Most people that watched that game turned it off after the end of the first half. Look at what happened between Oklahoma State and Baylor. Those were 2 of the best teams in the Big 12, and they played an exciting football game. They went in the locker room, both teams made some adjustments, and they came out and just started scoring like barn burners. They were just scoring like crazy. Why? Because they made adjustments at halftime. That's what good coaches do. And Dave Aranda and Mike Gundy are both good coaches. So I'm very confident that the Big 12 is going to be around for a very, very long time. The only way that you're going to weaken the Big 12 would be if the ACC got smart and tried to bring in West Virginia. Yes, West Virginia, and this is something Golden Blue Dude is right about, West Virginia versus Syracuse versus Vatek versus Pitt. Those are natural rivalry games that will drive up the TV rankings. So the ACC would be smart to go after them. But the Big 12 can respond by either bringing in a USF or a Memphis. Memphis is fixing up their football stadium. It's going to look great. And SMU is as well. So it would concern me if Oklahoma State were to get courted by the SEC. But quite frankly, the SEC said here recently they're not going to expand past 16 teams, at least not for now. So all this talk about conference realignment really is, you need to chill, okay? All these people who want to talk about conference realignment need to relax because nothing major is probably going to happen for another couple of years. So is there going to be a push? Is there rumors of them wanting to go to 20, the SEC and the Big Ten? Yeah, but it's probably not going to happen this year. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please hit like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. If you wear orange and black, whether you got your degree or not, at Oklahoma State, you are a member of Cowboy Country and you are welcome here. So anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you later.